Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Given, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, keeping the viewer request chugging along. Don't worry, for those of you who have had a whole bunch of suggestions, I am going to get to them. I had a few days off because I was in the ER and recovering from that. Fun times, let me tell you. And I'm still back here ready to go, and so we're catching back up. And today we have Jackal Genius Geneticist for a viewer request. Jackal Genius Geneticist is from that set that everybody loves to forget, but has some interesting cards in it. I'm of course talking about Spider-Man. And so who is Jackal Genius Geneticist? He's a 1/1 for 2. Okay, pretty simple. Simic, trample, whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Jackal's power, copy that spell, except the copy isn't legendary. Then put a 1/1 counter on Jackal. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cast a bunch of X spells, 1s drops, 2 drops, trying to really bolster them up here. And then copying those spells, especially with X spells, when you copy it, it copies whatever you paid for the X. So you will get 2 of that X casting cost spell. 1 second, my daughter's here. Sorry about that, friends. As I was saying, we're going to be copying our X casting out spells. It will copy whatever you pay for X as part of the spell because it was already put in there. So we're going to have some 1 drops, 2 drops, those X drops. And let's get into it, shall we? So we have 27 creatures, which is a lot. But when we're trying to pump this guy up and make copies of our creatures and do our game plan and do something that isn't just landfall, we're going to do something silly. So, the first creature we're going to talk about is Altered Ego. It's a 0/0 for X, 2 generic, a green and a blue. So its base converted mana cost is 4. So you're going to want Jackal to be a 5 or a 6 to get any kind of even small value out of Altered Ego. But Altered Ego is pretty good here. It has, this creature can't be countered. And, 1 second, friends, I dropped something. No. It has, you may have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it enters with X additional 1/1 counters on it. Pretty simple. And this is extremely important. Although this first copy here cannot copy a legendary, otherwise they go boom, you could, in theory, have your second copy, which is a non-legendary, become a copy of a non-legendary as well. Oh, actually, that does not work because then it would become a legendary. Don't listen to me on that. Undoozy. But yes, you can have them copy. You can copy your non-legendary creatures. Have them copy something here like Coiling Oracle, which is when it enters, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Card advantage. And we have some other non-legendaries as well. We have Chameleon, Master of Disguise. So you're going to want to play this when Jackal is at 4. You may have Chameleon enter as a copy of a creature you control, except its name is Chameleon, Master of Disguise. This is also extremely important. You can have Chameleon come in as a copy of Jackal. So then, part of this fun thing that you can do is if you have these things that can copy and make them non-legendary, for example, Chameleon here is non-legendary, or it would be a non-legendary Chameleon, and he would keep the non-legendary super type. Then you can have him copy, and you can have multiple copies of Jackal, so you have multiple value trains moving to copy more spells. I already went over Coiling Oracle. We do have some Mana Dorks in here. These are easy ways to get Jackal up there in power and copy things like Elvish Mystic, Fintorn Elves, Llanowar Elves, Fanatic of Ronus, Gaer's Sage, which gets a 1/1 counter on it when it evolves, right? We have Sakura Tribe-Elder in here, who although doesn't tap for mana, does sack for mana and is an easy way to get that 1 and 2 drop section of Jackal operational. Then we have Geometer's Arthropod, and this card is really, really interesting from Secrets of Strixhaven. And what it says is whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, look at the top X cards of your library, put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card's really good, and it's a 2-drop, and we're running a lot of X casting cost spells, creatures in this deck, so it's going to get some value and net some cards into your hand. We have Goldvein Hydra, Sorry, my mouse is being goofy here. It is a 0/0 for X and green. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. This creature enters with X/1/1 counters. When this creature dies, create a number of tap treasure tokens equal to its power. This card's going to be great if you can copy it for, you know, say Jackal's at 6, 7, 8, and you copy it for that amount, and then you have a way to pop both of them, or somebody casts a Wrath, you're going to get like 18 treasures, 17 treasures, you know, all that sort of fun stuff. Great times there. We already went over Gyre Sage. We have Hungering Hydra. This is a Hydra sub-theme, if you haven't noticed. Hungering Hydra enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. It can't be blocked by more than one creature, and when it's dealt damage, you put that many 1/1 counters on it. So it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It does trip over elves. That's important to note. Hydroid Crassus is in here. When you cast a spell, you gain half X life, draw half X cards, round it down, trample, flying, and it enters with X/1/1 counters. Of course, copying this with your Jackal nets you some more cards, some more life. Fantastic. Ingenious Prodigy. Skulk can't be blocked by creatures with lower power. This creature enters with X/1/1 counters on it. Or sorry, with creatures with greater power. At the beginning of your upkeep, if this creature has one or more 1/1 counters on it, you may remove a 1/1 counter from it. If you do, draw a card. So you want to have this one at like 2, 3, 4, and then slowly chip it down while poking in for damage below their big things. We have Irma, Part-Time Mutant, a card that absolutely curb stomped me in Arena the other day. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Irma becomes a copy of up to one other target creature you control, except her name remains Irma, so the legendary rule doesn't pop her like a balloon, and she has this ability. Then put a 1/1 counter on her. This card can get out of hand very quickly. I might do a build with Atraxa, because that's where I saw it. She copied Atraxa, and then the proliferate triggers were going off, and it was disgusting, is the best way I can put it. Kinetic Ooze, 0/0 for X and 1. This creature enters with X/1/1 counters on it. When this creature enters, destroy up to one target artifact or enchantment with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, you draw a card. If X is 10 or more, you double the number of 1/1 counters on any number of target creatures. This is a good way to just boost everything and get yourself a little bit of card advantage. We do have some, we're going to say, generic good creatures in here as well. We got Coma, the original Cosmos Serpent. He can't be countered. At the beginning of each upkeep, you get a 3/3 blue serpent. You can tap a permanent. You can sack a serpent to tap a permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated this turn, or give it indestructible. If you manage to copy Coma, then you have a legendary and a non-legendary, and you're just pooping out 2 serpents every single upkeep. It's disgusting. We have Sabsunin, Luxa Embodied, which is reach, trample, indestructible. Can't attack unless it has an even number of counters on it. At the beginning of your first main phase, put a 1/1 counter on Sabsunin. Then, if it has an odd number of counters on it, draw 2 cards. Again, having 2 of these just seems pretty dang gross. Mockingbird, this copies another creature, except it's a bird. We have Oaka, Traveling Merchant. You can tap to remove a counter from a non-land permanent you control to draw a card. This is important because we can remove some of the counters from the copies that we're making with Jackal, or Jackal himself, if we need to move him down a hair to be able to copy something better. We have Pensive Professor. Increment, whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on this creature, draw a card. Easy peasy. We have Ray Fillet, Wave Warrior. Flying evolves, so he gets a 1/1 counter on it whenever a creature with greater power or toughness than this creature enters, you know. And then whenever a creature you control with a counter on it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. There's a lot of creatures in this deck that are going to have 1/1 counters, so we're going to get absolute value down out of that. We have Spark Double, copies, except it's not legendary. The copied creature is going to have an additional 1/1 counter. Wildwood Scourge enters with X/1/1s. Whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on another Hydra, you put 1 on this. So it plays in with the other Hydras we have. The Goose Mother, Mother Goose, it's a Hydra bird. The Goose Mother enters with the X/1/1 counters on it. When it enters, you create X food tokens, so that's a way to stabilize your life. And whenever the Goose Mother attacks, you may sacrifice a food. If you do, draw a card. So, you know, more card advantage there. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. This is pretty fun because you can cast this multiple times. If you have your Jackal at 3, it creates a non-legendary copy, which, yes, it still dies, but its ETB effect still happens. So you'll still gain the 3, draw a card, and put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. You'll do that twice, and then the original copy will go into your graveyard. And if you have a way to keep Jackal at 3, or have another copy of Jackal that is at 3, you can play this from your graveyard and do it again, and it's so good. We have Zemek, Guild Gauge, or Guild Mage. This turn, creatures you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. You remove a 1/1 counter from a creature you control to draw a card. And again, another way to regulate Jackal's counters. We do have Cultivate, Rampant Growth, and Kodama's Reach in here for some ramp. We do have Doppelgang in here, which is pretty fun. For each of X target permanents, create X tokens that are copies of that permanent. Fun times, fun card. Really hard to pull off big ones because of the amount of mana required, but still fun. Rishkar's Expertise. We're going to have big Hydras. May as well play Rishkar's Expertise to draw a bunch of cards and then play a card with mana value 5 or less. Overwhelming Stampede. Until end of turn, creatures you control get trampled +X+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, which is just fun and fantastic when we're running big Hydras. For instance, we are running an Offer You Can't Refuse. Simple, straightforward counterspell. Only one, though. Our other interaction comes in the form of removal with Beast Within, Pongify, Rapid Hybridization. We do have ourselves some protection interaction, which is Snakeskin Veil, Inspiring Call, Strength of Will, and I believe, yes, Mutational Advantage. Permanents you control with counters on them gain Hexproof and prevent an indestructible till end of turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to those permanents and proliferate. Then we have Growth Spiral. Lets you draw a card, put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Artifacts. We are running Mana Rocks in this. A lot of times you'll see that my builds don't have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, etc. But when we're running a bunch of X casting costs, having some Mana Rocks in here to just like get our stuff out faster is always an exceptional choice. So we do have Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, Talisman of Curiosity, and Simic Signet in here, as well as the Earth Crystal, which in a way cheapens your spells. It makes your green spells cost 1 less. It adds twice that many 1/1 counters on if something would have 1/1 counters put on it. We have our Boots Made for Walking. We have our Ozolith, the Shattered Spire, which puts an additional 1/1 counter on something. You can also cycle it if you so choose. And then we have Twinning Staff. If you would copy a spell 1 or more times, instead copy it that many times plus an additional time. You may choose new targets. Please bear in mind that if you copy a legendary spell, this will create legendary copies as opposed to the ones from Jackal. Enchantments, we have Garruk's Uprising, we have Growing Rights of Itlamok, Guardian Project, Hadana's Climb, Sphere Grid, Simic Ascendancy. These are all pretty basic, straightforward stuff. Lets you draw cards, counters, etc. Tribute to the World Trees counters, Hardened Scales counters, Terra Symbiosis is counters, and Imposter Syndrome lets you copy something when they connect, and makes a non-legendary copy at that. Lands, simple, straightforward. Alchemist Refuge lets you play something as though it had flash. Avendo is Gaia's Cradle we have at home. Karn's Bastion lets you proliferate. Nesting Ground moves counters. And Rogue's Passage is Rogue's Passage, lets something be unblockable. Now, I will be right back here in a jiff with some playtesting. Alrighty, and we are back for some playtesting. And what do we have here for our opening hand? We have a Sodden Verdure. Friends, do you ever have those words that you read them, and in your head, you think you know the pronunciation, but you've never heard the word aloud, and then you don't know how to pronounce them when you read them aloud, and you look like an idiot? That is verdure, or whatever. Let me know what it is. I have a pretty expansive vocabulary, but I have not ever heard that word spoken aloud, so you know what? I'm going to look like an idiot today. But let's see what our opening hand is. Let's draw our first card of the turn. We have a Flooded Grove. That's pretty good, right? So, this is going to enter tapped unless we have two or more basic lands. We're just going to play this tapped right off the bat because we don't have any basic lands in our hand. We're then going to untap it. We're going to play our Hinterland Harbor because this is a forest island. And we're going to go ahead and tap, and we're going to just drop down our Jackal on turn 2. We're then going to draw a card. We're going to drop our Flooded Grove, right? So we have 3 Simic lands. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to play Elvish Mystic. Now, whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Jackal's power, copy that spell. Except for the copy isn't legendary, then put a 1/1 counter on Jackal. So then what we're going to do here is we're going to... Is there a way to make a copy? Add token. Copy. Aha! Look at that. We have a second Elvish Mystic, and we add a counter onto Jackal. So now he is a 2/2. So that is pretty fun. Pretty fun right there. And then, you know what we can do? We could play this. We could. But we don't have a land in hand, so it's not the most valuable. We're going to move to our next hand. But now I'm actually going to probably do it. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and tap for 2. We're going to play our Coiling Oracle. Its converted mana value is equal to his power, so he's going to get a counter. And we are going to get a copy of Coiling Oracle. So then these enter. You reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, put it in your hand. It's a Hardened Scales. And then the second one. So then we have a Fyndhorn Elves. So he's a 3/3 now. We're going to go ahead and drop this island. And we are going to play our Fyndhorn Elves. And along with this, let's go ahead and play our Hardened Scales. This will help us get bigger, better, stronger, faster. There we are. So now he's a 3/3. And you know what? Just for grins, we're going to play Growth Spiral. We're going to draw a card. And we didn't get it. We didn't luck out. Next turn. Mana available. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 mana available. And we do have this sitting here at 3. We have nothing that costs 3 base, but we do have this Ingenious Prodigy, which is X and 1 blue. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do 2, and then we're going to, you know what, we're going to use our Fyndhorn Elves, and we're going to cast this for converted mana cost of 3, which then it comes in. It will come in with 2 counters on it. 2. But you see how this goes. You make a copy of this, he goes up, and then we actually still have enough mana here to where we can cast Spark Double on our Jackal, which then will put 2 copies in non-legendary copies, which is, because it'll copy this, right, as you cast it, and then we'll put them copying Jackal, so we'll have 2 more copies of Jackal, creating more things. All right, let's try another hand, shall we? We have ourselves a Hinterland Harbor again and a Path of Ancestry. Friends, I run 38 to 40 lands in every single deck that I build, and this is very important why I don't understand how people can run themselves like, I don't know, 25 lands. Don't do it. We are going to play Path of Ancestry because we are going to hopefully luck into a land here. We're going to draw for our turn. Oh, we did not luck into a land. However, we are going to go ahead and play our Hinterland Harbor tapped. We're going to play our tap our Path of Ancestry for Land of War Elves. We are going to draw our card. Now we draw our forest. Of course we do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play Jackal, because Jackal is cheap. Jackal is good. And then we are going to play a forest. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to Rampant Growth. And we're going to view our library. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab ourselves another forest. Close and shuffle. Because we have 2 blue sources already, and we have more green cards in hand than blue. Not bad. Next turn draw. Now we have a little bit of a problem here, right? We have no way. We have no creature that has a mana value of 1 to play. But that's okay, because we can still get value out of the cards that we want to play, right? We're still going to play our Sack Tribe Elder. He's going to sit there. And we're still going to go ahead. And we're going to cultivate. We may as well pop him while we're at it. So with the Sack Tribe Elder, I'm going to grab a forest. And then with the cultivate, I'm going to grab a forest and an island. I'm going to close and shuffle. We're going to put the island into play tapped. And then this forest here from Sack Tribe Elder. Oh, sorry. This is the forest from Sack Tribe Elder. Next turn. So we have quite a bit here. Even without activating Jackal, look, the deck can still function. So we're going to drop a forest. And then what we are going to do is we are actually going to wait a turn, but we are going to play Hydroid Crassus on the following turn. We are also going to 3, 4, Spark Double our Jackal. This Jackal here has an additional counter on it. So he is a 2/2, and this one is a 1/1. Next turn, look at this. This is fantastic. We're going to drop this, and we are going to drop our Elvish Mystic, which gets copied. So we do this, add token, copy. And as you can see from Terra Symbiosis, whenever one or more 1/1 counters whenever you put one or more 1/1 counters on a creature you control, you may draw that many cards. Do this only once each turn. Well, we're only putting one counter on him and one counter on him, and so we're going to draw our card for that. It gives us rapid hybridization. We're then going to tap for 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, we'll do 6. And we're going to do Hydroid Crassus. That nets us 3 life, draws us 3 cards, and there we go. We'll do one more hand, just for fun. Another 2 land starting hand. Again, always, and I do mean always, run at least 38 lands in your hand. Also notice we haven't gotten our mana rocks. So we draw. We'll drop this island down. We'll draw per turn. We'll drop a forest, and we're going to drop Jackal, Genius, Geneticist. And then we're going to go next turn. So we only have 2 lands. But we have 1/1. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drop our Arcane Signet because we have to get some mana online. We're going to drop an island here. And we are going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4 Earth Crystal, make our stuff cheaper. And then we'll go to our next turn. We'll drop a Soul Ring. And you know what? We're just going to drop Gyre Sage. And then we're going to go next turn. 1, 2. Notice how I joked about not seeing our mana rocks, and now we have every mana rock we could ever hope to have. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to Chameleon him. So we have an extra 1. Next turn. Draw. But yeah. There you go. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. All right.